I thought the king had more affected the Duke of Albany than Cornwall.
It did always seem so to us, but now in the division of the kingdom it appears not which of the dukes he values most.
Is not this your son, my lord?
His breeding, sir, hath been at my charge. I have so often blushed to acknowledge him that now I am braced to it.
I cannot conceive you.
Sir, this young fellow's mother could, whereupon she grew round-wombed, and had indeed, sir, a son for her cradle ere she had a husband for her bed. Do you smell a fault?
I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper.
But I have, sir, a son by order of law, some year elder than this, who yet is no dearer in my account. Though this knave came something saucily into the world before he was sent for, yet was his mother fair. There was good sport at his making, and the whoreson must be acknowledged. Do you know this noble gentleman, Edmund?
No, my lord.
Remember him hereafter as my Lord of Kent, my honorable friend.
My services to your lordship.
Oh, the king is coming.
Meantime, we shall express our darker purpose. Give me the map there. Know that we have divided in three our kingdom, and 'tis our fast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on younger strengths, while we, unburthened, crawl toward death. Our son of Cornwall, and you, our no less loving son of Albany, we have this hour a constant will to publish our daughter's several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now. The princes, France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, long in our court have made their amorous sojourn, and here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, which of you shall we say doth love us most, that we our largest bounty may extend, where nature doth with merit challenge? Goneril, our eldest born, speak first.
Sir, I love you more than words can wield the matter, dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty, beyond what can be valued, rich or rare, no less than life, with grace, health, beauty, honor, as much as child are loved. Her father found a love that makes breath poor and speech unable. Beyond all manner of so much, I love you.
What shall Cordelia do? Love and be silent.
Of all these bounds, even from this line to this, we make thee, lady. To thine and Albany's issue be this perpetual. What says our second daughter, our dearest Regan, wife to Cornwall? Speak.
Sir, I am made of the self-same metal that my sister is, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart, I find she names my very deed of love. Only, she comes too short, that I profess myself an enemy to all other joys which the most precious square of sense possesses, and find I am alone, felicitate in your dear highness's love.
And poor Cordelia, and yet not so, since I am sure my love's more richer than my tongue.
To thee and thine hereditary ever remain this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure than that conferred on Goneril. Now, our joy, although the last, not the least, to whose young love the vines of France and milk of Burgundy strive to be interest. What can you say to draw a third more opulent than your sisters? Speak.
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty according to my bond, nor more nor less.
How, Cordelia, mend your speech a little, lest it may mar your fortunes.
Good my lord, you have begotten me, bred me, loved me. Well, I return those duties back as a right fit. Obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sisters husbands, if they say they love you all? Haply when I shall wed that lord whose hand must take my plight, shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure, I shall never marry like my sisters, to love my father all.
But goes thy heart with this?
Aye, good my lord.
So young and so untender?
So young, my lord, and true.
Let it be so. Thy truth then be thy dower. For by the sacred radiance of the sun, here I disclaim all my paternal care, and as a stranger to my heart and me, hold thee from this forever.
But my liege.
Peace, Kent. Come not between the dragon and his wrath. I loved her most, and thought to set my rest on her kind nursery, hence and avoid my sight. So be my grave my peace, as here I give her father's heart from her. Cornwall and Albany, with my two daughters dowards digest this third. Let pride, which she calls plainness, marry her. I do invest you jointly with my power, preeminence, and all the large effects that troop with majesty. Ourself by monthly course with reservation of 100 knights by you to be sustained, shall our road make with you by due turns. Only we still retain the name, and all the additions to a king that sway, revenue, execution of rest. Beloved sons be yours, which to confirm this coronet parts betwixt you.
Royal Lear, whom I have ever honored as my king, loved as my father, as my master followed, as my great patron thought on in my prayers, has...
The bow is bent and drawn. Make from the shaft.
Let it fall, rather, though the fork invade the region of my heart. Be Kent unmannerly when Lear is mad. What wilt thou do, old man? Thinkest thou that duty shall have dread to speak when power to flattery bows? To plainness honor's bound when majesty stoops to folly. Reverse thy doom, and in thy best consideration check this hideous rashness. Answer my life, my judgment. Thy youngest daughter does not love thee least, nor are those empty-hearted whose low sound reverbs no hollowness.
Kent, on thy life no more.
My life I never held but as a pawn to wage against thy enemies, nor fear to lose it, thy safety being the motive.
Out of my sight.
See better, Lear, and let me still remain the true blank of thine eye.
Now by Apollo.
Now by Apollo! King, thou swearest thy gods in vain.
Oh, vassal, miscreant!
Oh, dear sir, forbear.
Whilst I can vent clamor from my throat, I tell thee, thou dost evil.
Hear me, recreant, on thine allegiance, hear me. Since thou hast sought to make us break our vow, our potency made good, take thy reward. 5 days we do allot thee for provision, and on the 6th to turn thy hated back upon our kingdom. If on the 10th day following thy banished trunk be found in our dominions, the moment is thy death. Away.
Fare thee well, king. Scythe thus thou wilt appear. Freedom lives hence, and banishment is here.
My lord of Burgundy, we first address towards you, who with this king hath rivaled for our daughter. What in the least will you require in present dower with her, or cease your quest of love? Will you, with those infirmities she owes, unfriended, new adopted to our hate, dowered with our curse, and strangered with our oath, take her or leave her?
Pardon me, royal sir. Election makes not up on such conditions.
Then leave her, sir, for by the power that made me, I tell you all her wealth. For you, great king, I would not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore beseech you to avert your liking a more worthier way.
I yet beseech your majesty, if for want I want that glib and oily art to speak and purpose not, since what I well intend, I'll do it before I speak. That you make known it is no vicious blot, murder or foulness, no unchaste action or dishonored step that hath deprived me of your grace and favor. But even for want of that for which I am richer, a still soliciting eye and such a tongue as I am glad to have not, though not to have it hath lost me in your liking.
Better thou hast not been born than to have not pleased me better.
We have her. She is herself a dowry.
Royal Lear, give but that portion which you yourself proposed, and here I take Cordelia by the hand.
Nothing. I have sworn I am firm.
I'm sorry then, you have so lost a father that you must lose a husband.
Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respects of fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife.
Fairest Cordelia, thou art most rich being poor, most choice forsaken, and most love despised. In thy virtues here I seize upon. A dowerless daughter king, thrown to my chance, is queen of ours, and our fair France. Bid them farewell, Cordelia, though in kind thou losest here, a better where to find.
Thou hast her, France. Let her be thine, for we have no such daughter, nor shall we ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone, without our grace, our love, our benison. Come, noble Burgundy.
Bid farewell to your sisters.
The jewels of our father, with washed eyes Cordelia leaves you. I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults as they are named. Use well our father. To your professed bosoms I commit him, but yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So, farewell to you both.
Prescribe not to us our duties.
Let your study be to content your lord.
Time shall unfold what plated cunning hides. Who cover faults at last, shame them derides. Well, may you prosper.
Sister, it is not a little I have to say of what most nearly appertains to us both. I think our father will hence tonight.
That's most certain, and with you. Next month with us.
You see how full of changes his age is.
'Tis the infirmity of his age, yet he hath ever but slenderly known himself.
There's further compliment of leave-taking between him and France. Pray you, let's hit together. If our father carry authority with such disposition as he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us.
We shall further think on it.
We must do something, and in the heat.
Thou nature art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous, my shape as true as honest madam's issue? Why brand they us with baseness? Bastardy, base! Who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed. Go to the creating of a whole tribe of fops got tween asleep and wake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard, Edmund. As to the legitimate, fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now gods, stand up for bastards!
Kent banished thus, and France and choler parted, and the king, gone tonight, subscribed his power, confined to exhibition, and all this done upon the gad. Edmund, how now, what news?
So please your lord, none.
Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter?
I have no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No, what needed then that terrible dispatch of it into your pocket? Let's see. Come, if it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother, that I have not all o'erread, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your o'erlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to detain or give it up. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame.
Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification he wrote this but as an essay or taste of my virtue.
I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of aged tyranny, who sways not as it hath power, but as it is suffered. Come to me that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should have his revenue forever and live the beloved of your brother, Edgar. Conspiracy! Sleep till I waked him? You should enjoy half his revenue? My son, Edgar! Had he a hand to write this, a heart and brain to breed it in? When came this to you? Who brought it?
It was not brought to me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
You know the character to be your brother's?
If the matter were good, my lord, I durst swear it were his. But in respect of that, I would fain think it were not.
It is his.
It is his hand, my lord. But I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Hath he never heretofore sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord, but I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons of a perfect age and fathers declining, that the father should be as a ward to his son, and the son manage his revenue.
Oh, villain! Villain! His very opinion in the letter. Natural villain! Go, sir, seek him. I'll apprehend him. Abominable villain! Where is he?
I do not know well, my lord. I dare pawn down my life for him that he hath wrote this to feel my affection to your honor, and to no further pretense of danger.
Think you so?
If your honor judge it meet, I will place where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an auricular assurance have your satisfaction.
He cannot be such a monster.
There is not, sure.
To his father, that so tenderly and entirely loves him, heaven and earth. Edmund, seek him out. Wind me into him, I pray you. Frame the business after your own wisdom. I would unstate myself to be in a due resolution.
I will seek him, sir, presently.
These late eclipses in the sun and moon pretend no good to us. Love cools, friendship falls off, brothers divide, in palaces treason, and the bond cracks twixt son and father. Find out this villain, Edmund. It shall lose thee nothing. Do it carefully.
This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the surfeit of our own behavior, we make guilty our disasters to the sun, the moon, and the stars. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major. So that it follows, I am rough and lecherous. Tut, I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Edgar. And Pat he comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom of Bedlam. Oh, these eclipses do portend these divisions. Fa, sol, la, mi.
Now, brother Edmunds, what serious contemplation are you in?
I was thinking, brother, of a prediction I read the other day. What should follow these eclipses?
Do you busy yourself about that?
I promise you the effects you write of succeed unhappily, as of a naturalness between the child and the parent, death, dearth, dissolution of ancient amenities, divisions in state, menaces and maledictions against king and nobles, needless diffidences, banishment of friends, dissipation of cohorts, nuptial breaches, and I know not what.
Nuptial breaches. How long have you been a secretary astronomical?
Come, come. When saw you my father last?
Why, the night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together.
Parted you in good term, found you no displeasure in him by word or countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you might have offended him, and at my entreaty forbear his presence till some little time hath qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this time so rageth in him, that with the mischief of your person it would scarcely allay.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you, have a continent forbearance till the speed of his rage goes slower, and retire with me to my lodgings, from whence I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray you, there's my key. If you do go abroad, sir, go armed.
Armed, brother?
Brother, I advise you to the best, go armed. I am no honest man if there be any good meaning towards you. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly, nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you, away.
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harm that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practice is right easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit, and with me's meet all that I can fashion fit.
Can you read that?
Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding his fool?
Yes, madam.
By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into some gross crime or other that sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak to him. Say I am sick. If you come slack of former services, you shall do well. The fault of it all, answer.
He's coming, madam. I hear him.
Put on what wary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I'll have it come to question. If he dislike it, let him to our sister, whose mine and mine, I know, in that are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man that would still manage those authorities he hath given away. Now by my life, old fools are babes again and must be used with checks as flatteries when they are seen abused. Remember what I tell you.
Well, madam.
And let his knights have colder looks among you. What grows of it, no matter. I'll write straight to my sister to hold my very course. Prepare for dinner.
If but as well I other accents borrow, that can my speech diffuse, my good intent may carry through itself to that full issue for which I raised my likeness. Now banished Kent, if thou canst serve where thou dost stand condemned, so may it come, thy master whom thou lovest shall find thee in full labors.
Let me not stay a job for dinner, go get it ready. How now, what art thou?
Man, sir.
What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us?
I do profess to be no less than I seem, to serve him truly that will put me in trust, to love him that is honest, to converse with him that is wise and says little, to fear judgment, to fight when I cannot choose, and to eat no fish.
What art thou?
A very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as the king.
If thou be as poor for a subject as he is for a king, thou art poor enough. What wouldst thou?
Service.
Who wouldst thou serve?
You.
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir, but you have that in your countenance which I would fain call master.
What's that?
Authority.
What services canst thou do?
I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, mar a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men are fit for, I'm qualified in, and the best of me is diligence.
How old art thou?
Not so young, sir, to love a woman for singing, nor so old to dote on her for anything. I have years on my back 48.
Follow me, thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I will not part from thee yet. Dinner! Oh, dinner! Where is my knave, my fool? You, Sirrah, where's my daughter?
So please you.
What says the fellow there? Call the clock pole back. Where is my fool? Ho, I think the world's asleep. How now, where is that mongrel?
He says, my lord, your daughter is not well.
Why came not the slave back to me when I called him?
Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner. He would not.
He would not.
My lord, I know not what the matter is, but to my judgment, your highness is not entertained with that ceremonious affection as you were wont. There's a great abatement of kindness, appears as well in the general dependents, as in the duke himself also, and your daughter.
Huh, sayest thou so?
My duty cannot be silent when I think your highness wronged.
Thou but rememberest me of mine own conception. I have perceived a most faint neglect of late, which I have rather blamed as mine own jealous curiosity than as a very pretense of purpose and unkindness. I will look further into it. But where is my fool? I have not seen him this 2 days.
Since my young lady's going into France, sir, the fool hath much pined away.
No more of that, I have noted it well. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with her. Oh, you, sir! You, come hither, sir. Who am I, sir?
My lady's father.
My lady's father! My lord's knave, you horse and dog, you slave, you cur!
I am none of these, my lord. I beseech your pardon.
You rascal!
I'll not be struck, my lord.
Nor tripped neither, you base football player.
I thank thee, fellow. Thou servest me, and I'll love thee.
Come, sir, arise, away. I'll teach you differences. Away, away! If you will measure your lover's length again, tarry but away. Go to, have you wisdom so?
Now, my friendly knave, I thank thee. There's earnest of thy service.
Two, here's my coxcomb.
How now, my pretty knave, how dost thou?
Sirrah, you were best take my coxcomb.
Why, fool?
Why? For taking one's part that's out of favor. This fellow has banished 2 of his daughters, and to the third a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, nuncle, when I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters.
Why, my boy?
I gave them all my living. I'd keep my coxcombs myself. There's mine. Beg another of thy daughters.
Take heed, sirrah, the whip.
Truth's a dog must to kennel. He must be whipped out when Lady the Brock may stand by the fire ants stink.
A pestilent gall to me.
Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech.
Do.
Mark it, nuncle. Have more than thou showest, speak less than thou knowest, lend less than thou owest, ride more than thou goest, learn more than thou trowest, that less than thou throwest, leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep in a door, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens to a score.
This is nothing, fool.
It is like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. Thou gave me nothing for it. Can you make no use of nothing, nuncle?
Why, no, boy, nothing can be made out of nothing.
Prithee, tell him, so much the rent of his land comes to, he will not believe a fool.
A bitter fool?
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet fool?
No, lad, teach me.
That lord that counseled thee to give away thy land, come place him here by me. Do thou for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear, the one in motley here, the other found out there.
Dost thou call me a fool, boy?
All thy other titles thou hast given away, that thou was born with.
This is not altogether fool, my lord.
Oh, faith, lords and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they would have part on it, and ladies too. They will not let me have all fool to myself. They'll be snatching. Give me an egg, nuncle, and I'll give thee 2 crowns.
What 2 crowns shall they be?
Why, after I have cut the egg in the middle and eat up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg. When thou clothest thy crown in the middle and gavest away both parts, thou borest thy ass on thy back or the dirt. Thou hast little wit in thy bald crown when thou gavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so. Fools had ne'er less wit in a year, for wise men are grown foppish. They know not how their wits so wear, their manners are so apish.
When were you wont to be so full of song, Sirrah?
I have used it, nuncle, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mothers. For when thou gavest them the rod and puttest down thine own breeches, then they for sudden joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king should play bo peep and go the fools among. Prithee, nuncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie.
And you lie, Sirrah, will have you whipped.
I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll be whipped for speaking true, thou'lt have me whipped for lying, and sometimes I am whipped for holding my peace. I had rather be any kind of thing but than a fool, and yet it would not be thee, nuncle. Thou hast pared thy wit of both sides and left nothing in the middle. Here's one of the parings.
How now, daughter? What makes that frontlet on? Methinks you are too much of late in the frown.
Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care for her frowning. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool. Thou art nothing. Yes, forsooth, I will hold my tongue, so your face bids me, though you say nothing. That's a shelled peace cod.
Not only, sir, this your all licensed fool, but other of your insolent retinue do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be endured riots. Sir, I had thought, by making this well known unto you, to have found a safer dress. But now grow fearful by what yourself too late have spoken done, that you protect this course.
For you drowned, uncle. The hedge sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it's had its head bit off by its young. So out went the candle, and we were left darkling.
Are you our daughter?
Come, sir, I would you would make use of that good wisdom whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions that of late transform you from what you rightly are.
May not an ass know when the cart draws the horse?
Doth any here know me? This is not Lear. Doth Lear walk thus, speak thus? Where are his eyes? Who is it that can tell me who I am?
Your shadow.
I would learn that, for by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge, and reason, I should be false persuaded I had daughters.
Which they will make an obedient father.
Your name, fair gentlewoman?
This admiration, sir, is much of the savor of other your new pranks. I do beseech you to understand my purposes aright. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. Here you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold that this court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. Epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. The shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. Then desired by her, that else will take the thing she begs.
Darkness and devils. Saddle my horses, call my train together. Degenerate bastard, I'll not trouble thee. Yet have I left a daughter.
You strike my people, and your disordered rabble make servants of their betters.
Woe that too late repents. Monster ingratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend! More hideous when thou showest thee the child than the sea monster!
Pray, sir, be patient.
Detested kite, thou liest! My train are men of choice, and rarest parts that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worships of their name. Oh, most small fault, how ugly didst thou in Cordelia show! Oh, Lear, 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 beat at this gate that let thy folly in and thy dear judgment out! Go, go, my people.
My lord, I am guiltless, as I am ignorant of what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Here, nature, here, dear goddess, here. Suspend thy purposes thou didst intents to make this creature fruitful. Into her womb convey sterility. Dry up in her organs of increase, and from her delicate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create her child of spleen, that it may live to be a thwart disnatured torment to her. Let it stamp wrinkles in her brow of youth, with cadent tears fret channels in her cheeks, turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away, away!
Now, gods that we adore, what of comes this?
Never afflict yourself to know the cause, but let his disposition have that scope that dotage gives it.
What, 50 of my followers at a clap, within a fortnight?
What's the matter, sir?
I'll tell thee. Life and death. I am ashamed that thou hast power to shake my manhood thus. That these hot tears which break from me perforce should make thee work them. Blast and flog upon thee. The unattended wounding of a father's curse pierce every sense about thee. Old fond eyes, beweep this cause again, I'll pluck thee out. Let it be so. Yet have I left a daughter who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear of this, with her nails she'll flay thy wolvish visage.
Do you mark that, my lord?
I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear you.
Pray you content. You, sir, more knave than fool, after your master.
Nuncle Lear, tarry and take the fool with thee. A fox, when one has caught her, and such a daughter, should sure to the slaughter if my cap would buy a halter. For the fool follows after.
This man hath had good counsel 100 knights. 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep at point 100 knights yesta on every dream, each buzz, each fancy, each complaint, dislike he may enguard his dotage with their powers and hold our lives at mercy. Oswald, I say!
Well, you may fear too far.
Safer than trust too far. Let me still take away the harms I fear, not fear still to be taken. I know his heart. What he hath uttered I have written my sister. If she sustained him and his 100 knights when I have shown the unfitness. How now, Oswald? What, have you read that letter to my sister?
Yes, madam.
Take you some company and away to horse. Inform her full of my particular fear, and thereto add such reasons of your own to compact it further. Get you gone, and hasten your return. No, no, my lord, this milky gentleness and course of yours, though I condemn not yet, under pardon, you are much more tasked for want of wisdom than praised for harmful mildness.
How far your eyes may pierce, I cannot tell. Striving for the better, off we mar what's well.
Go you before to Gloucester with these letters. Acquaint my daughter no further with anything you know than comes from her demand out of the letter.
I will not sleep, my lord, till I have delivered your letter.
Don't see thy other daughter will use thee kindly, for though she's as like this as a crab's like an apple, yet I can tell what I can tell.
Why, what canst thou tell, my boy?
He will taste as like this as a crab does to a crab. Thou canst tell why one's nose stands in the middle of one's face?
No.
Why? To keep one's eyes on of either side's nose, that what a man cannot smell out, he may spy into.
I did her wrong.
Canst tell how an oyster makes his shell?
No.
Nor I neither, but I can tell why a snail has a house.
Why?
Why? To put his head in, not to give it away to his daughters and leave his horns without a case.
I will forget my nature. So kind a father. Be my horses ready.
Thy asses are gone about 'em. The reason why the 7 stars are no more than 7 is a pretty reason.
Because they are not 8?
Yes, indeed, thou wouldst make a good fool.
To take it again perforce, monster ingratitude.
Thou wert my fool, nuncle, I'd have thee beaten for being old before thy time.
How's that?
Thou should not have been old till thou hast been wise.
Oh, let me not be mad. Not mad, sweet heaven, keep me in temper. I would not be mad. How now, are the horses ready? Come, boy.
He that's a maid now and laughs at my departure shall not be a maid long, unless things be cut shorter.
Duke be here tonight. The better, the best. This weaves itself perforce into my business. My father hath set guard to take my brother, and I have one thing of a queasy question which I must act. Briefness and fortune work. Brother, a word! Descend, brother, I say! My father watches. Oh, sir, fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. Have you not spoken against the Duke of Cornwall? He's coming hither now in the night, in a haste, and Regan come with him. Have you said nothing upon his part against the Duke of Albany? Advise yourself.
I'm sure on it, not a word.
I hear my father coming. Pardon me. In cunning, I must draw my sword upon you. Draw, seem to defend yourself. Now, quit you well, yield, come before my father, light ho, here, fly, brother, torches, torches, so farewell. Some blood drawn on me would beget opinion. Ugh. My more fierce endeavor. Father, father, stop, stop, no help.
Now, Edmund, where's the villain?
He stood here in the dark, his sharp sword out, mumbling of wicked charms, conjuring the moon to stand auspicious.
But where is he?
Look, sir, I bleed.
Where is the villain, Edmund?
Fled this way, sir, where by no means.
Pursue him! How? Go after. By no means what?
Persuade me to the murder of your lordship. Seeing how lowly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose, in a fell motion with his prepared sword, he charges home my unprovided body, lanced mine arm, but when suddenly he saw my best alarmed spirits, full suddenly he fled.
Let him fly far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught, and found, dispatch.
I dissuaded him from his intent and found him in plight to do it. With cursed speech I threatened to discover him. He replied, "Thou unpossessing bastard, dost thou think if I would stand against thee would the reposal of any trust, virtue, or worth in thee make thy words faithed? No, I turn it all to thy suggestion, plot, and damned practice. And thou must make a dullard of the world if thou thought the profits of my death were very pregnant and potential spurs to make thee seek it."
Strong and fastened villain! Would he deny his letter? I never got him. Hark, the Duke's trumpets. I know not why he comes. All ports are barred, the villain shall not escape. The Duke must grant me that. And of my land, loyal and natural boy, I'll work the means to make thee capable.
How now, my noble friends? Since I came hither, which I can call but now, I have heard strange news.
If it be true, all vengeance comes too short which can pursue the offender. How dost, my lord? Oh, madam, my old heart is cracked. It's cracked. What, did my father's godson seek your life? He whom my father named your Edgar. Oh, lady, shame would have it hid. Was he not companion with the riotous knights that tend upon my father? I know not, madam. 'Tis too bad, too bad.
Yes, madam, he was of that consort.
No marvel then, though he were ill-affected. 'Tis they have put him on the old man's death to have the expense and waste of his revenues. I have this present evening from my sister been well informed of them, and with such cautions that if they come to sojourn at my house, I'll not be there.
Oh, I assure thee, Regan. Edmund, I hear that you've shown your father a childlike office.
'Twas my duty, sir.
He did bewray his practice, and received this herd you see striving to apprehend him.
You pursued.
Aye, my good lord.
If you be taken, you shall never more be feared of doing harm. Make your own purpose, how in my strength you please, for you, Edmund, whose virtue and obedience doth this instant so much commend itself, you shall be ours. Nature of such deep trust we shall have much need. You we first seize upon.
I shall serve you, sir. Truly, however else.
For him I thank your grace.
You know not why we came to visit you.
Thus out of season threading dark-eyed night, occasions, noble Gloucester, of some poise, wherein we must have use of your advice. Our father he hath writ, so hath our sister, of differences, which I least thought it fit to answer from our home. I serve you, madam. Your graces are right welcome.
Good dawning to thee, friend. Art of this house?
Aye.
Where may we set our horses?
In the mire.
Prithee, if thou lovest me, tell me.
I love thee not.
Why dost thou use me thus? I know thee not.
Fellow, I know thee.
What dost thou know me for?
A knave, a rascal, an eater of broken meats, a base, proud, shallow, beggarly, 3-suited, 100-pound, filthy, worsted-stocking knave, a lily-livered action-taking knave, a horse and glass-gazing, super-serviceable, finical rogue, one trunk-inheriting slave, one that wouldst be a bawd in way of good service, and art nothing but the composition of a knave, beggar, coward, pander, and son and heir of a mongrel bitch. One whom I will beat into clamorous whining if thou deniest the least syllable of thy addition.
Why, what a monstrous fellow art thou, thus to rail on one that is neither known of thee nor knows thee.
Of what a brazen-faced varlet art thou to deny thou knowest me? Is it 2 days ago since I tripped up thy heels and beat thee before the king? Draw, you rogue, for though it be night, yet the moon shines. I'll make sop of the moonshine of you. Draw, you whoreson, cullionly, barbermonger, draw.
Away, I have nothing to do with thee.
Draw, you rascal. You come with letters against the king. Draw, you rogue, or else so carbonado your shanks. Draw, you rascal, come your ways.
Help! Oh, murder, help!
How now? What's the matter?
With you, goodman boy, and you please, I'll flesh ye. Come on, young master.
Weapons, arms, what's the matter here?
Peace upon your lives, he dies that strikes again. What is the matter?
Messengers from our sister and the king.
What is your difference? Speak.
I am scarce in breath, my lord.
No marvel you have so bestirred your valor. You cowardly rascal, nature disclaims in thee, a tailor made thee.
Yet how grew your quarrel?
This ancient ruffian, sir, whose life I have spared at suit of his grey beard, tried
Thou
to...
Orson Zed, thou unnecessary letter. My lord, if you will give me leave, I will tread this unbolted villain into mortar and daub the walls of a jakes with him. Spare my grey beard, you wagtail.
Peace, sirrah! You beastly knave, know you no reverence.
Yes, sir, but anger hath a privilege.
Why art thou angry?
That such a slave as this should wear a sword who wears no honesty.
Why? Art thou mad, old fellow?
How fell you out? Say that.
No contraries hold more antipathy than I in such a knave.
Why dost thou call him a knave? What's his offense?
His countenance likes me not.
No more. Perchance 'tis mine, nor his, nor hers.
I have seen better faces in my time than stands on any shoulder that I see before me at this instant.
This is some fellow who, having been praised for bluntness, doth affect a saucy roughness, and constrains the garb quite apart from his nature. He cannot flatter, he an honest mind and plain, he must speak truth.
Sir, in good sooth, in sincere verity, under the allowance of your great aspect, whose influence, like the wreath of radiant fire on flickering feet.
What meanest by this?
To go out of my dialect, which you so discommend so much. I know, sir, I am no flatterer. He that beguiled you in a plain accent was a plain knave, which for my part, I will not be.
What was the offense you gave him?
I never gave him any. It pleased the king, his master very late, to strike at me upon his misconstruction, when he, conjunct and flattering his displeasure, tripped me behind. Being down, insulted, railed, and put upon such a deal of a man that worthied him, got praises of the king, and in the fleshment of this dread exploit, drew on me here again.
For the stocks, you stubborn ancient knave, you reverend braggart, will teach you.
Sir, I am too old to learn. Call not your stocks for me, I serve the king, on whose employment I was sent to you. You shall do small respect, show too bold malice against the grace and person of my master, stalking his messenger.
Fetch forth the stocks, as I have life and honor, there he shall sit till noon.
Till noon? Oh, till night, my lord, and all night too.
Why, madam, if I were your father's dog, you should not use me so.
Sir, being his knave, I will.
Come, bring away the stocks.
Let me beseech your grace not to do so. His fault is much, and the good king, his master, will check him for it. The king must take it ill that he is so slightly valued in his messenger.
I'll answer that.
My sister may receive it much more worse to have her gentleman abused, assaulted for following her affairs. Put in his head. Come, my good lord, away. I am sorry for thee, friend. 'Tis the Duke's pleasure, whose disposition all the world well knows will not be rubbed nor stopped. I'll entreat for thee.
Pray do not, sir. I have watched and traveled hard. Sometime I'll sleep out. The rest I'll whistle.
The Duke's to blame in this. 'Twill be ill taken.
Approach, thou beacon to this underglobe, that by thy comfortable beams I may peruse this letter. Nothing almost sees miracles but misery. I know 'tis from Cordelia, who hath most fortunately been informed of my obscured course. Fortune, good night. Smile once more. Turn thy wheel.
I heard myself proclaimed. Tall over tree, escape the hunt. Let me escape. I'll preserve myself. And bethought to take the basest and most poorest shape that ever penned beast. My face. Blanket my loins. Of all my hair and knots. And with presented nakedness outface the winds and persecutions of the sky, the country gives me proof and precedent of bedlam beggars. Poor Turligood. Poor Tom. That's something yet. Edgar, I nothing am.
is strange that they should so depart from home and not send back my messenger.
Night before, there was no purpose in them of this remove.
Hail to thee, noble master.
What's he that hath so much thy place mistook to set thee here?
It is both he and she, your son and daughter.
No.
Yes.
No, I say.
I say yea.
No, they would not.
Yes, they have.
By Jupiter, I swear no.
By Juno, I swear I.
They durst not do it. They could not, would not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do upon respect such violent outrage. Resolve me, with all modest haste, which way thou mightst deserve, or they impose this usage coming from us.
My lord, when at their home I did commend your highness's letters to them, ere I was risen from the place that showed my duty kneeling, came there this reeking post, stewed in his haste, half breathless, panting forth from Goneril his mistress salutations, delivered letters, spite of intermission, which presently they read, on whose contents they summoned up their many, straight took horse, commanded me to follow and attend the leisure of their answer, gave me cold looks in meeting here the other messenger, whose welcome I perceived had poisoned mine, being the very fellow that of late displayed so saucily against your highness. Having more man than wit about me, true, he raised the house with loud and coward cries. Your son and daughter found this trespass worth the shame which here it suffers.
Winter's not gone yet if the wild geese fly that way. Fathers that wear rags do make their children blind, but fathers that bear bags shall see their children kind.
Oh, how this mother swells up toward my heart. Where is this daughter?
With the earl, sir, here within.
Follow me not. Stay here.
How chanced the king comes with so small a train?
And thou hast been set in the stocks for that question, thou hast well deserved it.
Why, fool?
All that follow their noses are led by their eyes but blind men, and there's not a nose among 20 but can smell him that's stinking. That sir, which stirs and seeks for gain and follows but for form, will pack when it begins to rain and leave thee in the storm. But I will tarry. The fool will stay and let the wise men fly. The knave turns fool that runs away, the fool no knave per die.
Where learned you this, fool?
Not in the stocks, fool.
Denied to speak with me. They are sick, they are weary, they have traveled all the night. Mere fetches, the images of revolt and flying off. Fetch me a better answer.
My dear lord, you know the fiery quality of the Duke, how unremovable and fixed he is in his own course.
Vengeance, plague, death, confusion. I'll speak with the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
Well, my good lord, I have informed them so.
Informed them? Dost thou understand me, man?
Aye, my good lord.
The king would speak with Cornwall. The dear father would with his daughter speak, commands her service. Are they informed of this? My breath and blood. Fiery, the fiery Duke. Tell the hot Duke that... No, but not yet. Maybe he is not well. Infirmity doth still neglect all office whereto our health is bound. Death on my state! Wherefore should he sit here? This act persuades me that this remotion of the Duke and her is practice only. Give me my servant forth. Go tell the Duke and his wife I'll speak with them. Now, presently. Bid them come forth and hear me, or at their chamber door I'll beat the drum till it cry sleep to death.
I would have all will betwixt you.
Oh, me, my heart, my rising heart, but down.
To it, nuncle, as the cockney did to the eels when she put them in the paste alive. She knocked them on the coxcombs with a stick and cried, "Down, wantons, down!" 'Twas her brother that, in pure kindness to his horse, buttered his hay.
Good morrow to you both.
Hail to your grace.
I am glad to see your highness.
Regan, I think you are. I know what reason I have to think so. If thou shouldst not be glad, I would divorce me from my mother's tomb sepulchring an adulteress. Oh, are you free? Some other time for that. Beloved Regan, thy sister's not. Oh, Regan, she hath tied sharp-toothed unkindness like a vulture here. I can scarce speak to thee, thou'lt not believe with how depraved equality. Oh, Regan.
I pray you, sir, take patience. I have hope. You less know how to value her desert than she to scant her duty.
Say, how is that?
I cannot think my sister in the least would fail her obligation. If, sir, perchance you have restrained the riots of your followers, 'tis on such ground and to such wholesome end that clears her from all blame.
My curse is on her.
Oh, sir, you are old. Nature in you stands on the very verge of her confine. You should be ruled and led by some discretion that discerns your state better than you yourself. Therefore, I pray you that to our sister you do make return. Say you have wronged her, sir.
Ask her forgiveness. Do you but mark how this becomes the house? Dear daughter, I confess that I am old. Age is unnecessary. On my knees, I beg that you'll vouchsafe me raiment, bed, and food.
Good sir, no more. These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never, Regan. She hath abated me of half my train, looked black upon me, struck me with her tongue, most serpent-like upon the very heart. All the stored vengeances of heaven fall on her ungrateful top. Strike her young bones, you taking airs with lameness.
Aye, sir. Fine.
You nimble lightnings, dart your blinding flames into her scornful eyes. Infect her beauty, you fen-sucked fogs drawn by the powerful sun to fall and blast her pride.
Oh, the blessed gods, so will you wish on me when the rash mood is on.
No, Regan, thou shalt never have my curse. Thy tender-hefted nature shall not give thee o'er to harshness. Thou better knowest the offices of nature, bond of childhood, effects of courtesy, dues of gratitude. Thy half of the kingdom hast thou not forget wherein I thee endowed.
Good sir, to the purpose.
Who put my man in the stocks?
What's that?
I know it. My sister's. This approves her letter that she would soon be here. Is your lady come?
This is a slave whose easy borrowed pride dwells in the fickle grace of her he follows. Out, varlet, from my sight.
What means your grace?
Who stalked my servant? Regan, I have good hope thou didst not know on it. Who comes here? Oh, heavens! Art not ashamed to look upon this beard? Oh, Regan, wilt thou take her by the hand?
Why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended? All's not offense that indiscretion finds in dotage terms so.
You are too tough. Will you yet hold? How came my man in the stocks?
I set him there, sir. But his own disorders deserved much less advancement.
You did you?
I pray you, father, being weak seems so. If till the expiration of your month you will return and sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your train, come then to me. I am now from home and out of that provision which shall be needful for your entertainment.
Return to her and 50 men dismissed? No, rather I abjure all roofs and choose to wage against the enmity of the air, to be a comrade with the wolf and owl.
At your choice, sir.
I prithee, daughter, do not make me mad. I will not trouble thee, my child. Farewell. We'll no more meet, no more see one another. But yet thou art my flesh, my blood, my daughter. Or rather a disease that's in my flesh, which I must needs call mine. Thou art a boil, a plague sore, an embossed carbuncle in my corrupted blood. But I'll not chide thee. Let shame come when it will, I do not call it. Mend when thou canst, be better at thy leisure. I can be patient. I can stay with Regan, I and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I looked not for you yet, nor am provided for your fit welcome. Give ear, sir, to my sister.
Is this well spoken?
I dare vouch it, sir. What, 50 followers, is it not well? What should you need of more? Yea, or so many, sit that both charge and danger speak against so great a number. How in one house should many people under 2 commands hold amity? 'Tis hard, almost impossible.
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those that she calls servants, or from mine?
Why not, my lord? If then they chance to slack you, we could control them. If you will come to me, for now I spy a danger, I entreat you to bring but 5 and 20. To no more will I give place or notice.
I gave you
And
all.
in good time you gave it.
Made you my guardians, my depositaries, but kept a reservation to be followed with such a number. What, must I come to you with 5 and 20, Regan, said you so?
And speak it again, my lord. No more with me.
I'll go with thee. Thy 50 yet doubled 5 and 20, and thou art twice her love.
What need you 5 and 20, 10, or 5 to follow you in a house where twice as many have command to tend you?
What need one?
Oh, reason not the need. Our basest beggars are in the poorest things superfluous. Allow not nature more than nature needs. Man's life's as cheap as beasts. Thou art a lady, if only to go warm where gorgeous, why nature needs not what thou gorgeous wearest, which scarcely keeps thee warm. But for true need, you heavens give me that patience I need. You see me here, you gods, a poor old man, as full of grief as age, wretched in both. If it be you that stir these daughters' hearts against their father, fool me not so much to bear it tamely. Touch me with noble anger, and let not women's weapons, water drops, stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural hags, I will have such revenges on you both that all the world shall... I will do such things. What they are yet I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. Do you think I'll weep? No, I'll not weep. I have full cause of weeping, but this heart shall break into 100,000 flaws wherein I'll weep. Oh, fool, I shall go mad.
Let us withdraw. There'll be a storm.
This house is little. The old man and his people cannot be well bestowed.
'Tis his own blame. Hath put himself from rest and must needs face his folly.
For his particular, I'll receive him gladly, but not one follower.
So am I purposed. Where is my Lord of Gloucester?
Oh, the old man, forth. He's returned.
The king is in high rage.
It's best to get him away. He leads himself.
Sir, entreat him by no means to stay.
Alack, the night comes on, and the blink winds do sorely ruffle. For many miles about there's scarce a bush. Oh, sir, to willful men the injuries that they themselves procure must be their schoolmasters. Shut up your doors. He is attended with a desperate train, and what they may incense him to, being apt to have his ear abused, wisdom bids fear.
Shut up your doors, my lord. 'Tis a wild night. My Regan counsels well. Come out of the storm.
Who's there besides foul weather?
I did like the weather most than quietly.
I know you. Where's the king?
Tending with the frightful element.
But who is with him?
Remember the fool who labors to outjust his heart-struck injuries.
Sir, I do know you, and dare upon the warrant of my note commend a dear thing to you. There is division, although as yet the face of it be covered with mutual cunning twixt Albany and Cornwall, who have servants who seem no less, which are to France the spies and speculations intelligent of our state, which what hath been seen, and true it is, from France there comes a power into this scattered kingdom. Now to you, if on my credit you dare build so far to make your speed to Dover, you shall find some that will thank you, making just report of how unnatural and bemaddening sorrow the king hath caused to plain.
I will talk further with you.
No, do not. If you shall see Cordelia, and fear not but you shall, show her this ring, and she will tell you who your fellow is, that yet you do not know. Fie on this storm. I will go seek the king.
Give me your hand. Have you no more to say?
Few words, but to effect more than all that. That when we have found the king, in which your pain that way and I'll this, he that first lights on him, hollow the other.
Blow, winds, and crack your cheeks. Rage, blow. You cataracts and hurricanes, spout till you have drowned the steeples, drenched the cocks. You sulphurous and thought executing fires, vaunt couriers to oak-cleaving thunderbolts, singe my white head. And now all shaking thunder smite flat the thick rotundity of the world. Crack nature's molds, all German spill at once that make ingrateful man.
Oh, good Nuncle in, and ask thy daughter's blessing. Here's a knight pities neither wise man nor fool.
Rumble thy bellyful, spit fire, spout rain, nor rain, wind, thunder, fire are my daughters. I tax not you, you elements, with unkindness. I never gave you kingdom, called you children, you owe me no subscription. Then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man. But yet I call you servile ministers that have with two pernicious daughters joined your high engendered battles against a head so old and white as this. Oh, oh, 'tis foul. No, I will be the pattern of all patience. I will say nothing.
Who's there?
Mary, here's grace and a codpiece. That's a wise man and a fool.
Alas, sir, are you here? Things that love night love not such nights as these. The wrathful skies gallow the very wanderers of the dark and make them keep their caves. Since I was man, such sheets of fire, such bursts of horrid thunder, such groans of roaring wind and rain, I never remember to have heard. Man's nature cannot carry the affliction nor the fear.
Let the great gods that keep this dreadful pool o'er our heads find out their enemies now. I am a man more sinned against than sin.
Oh, alack, bareheaded! Gracious my lord, hard by here is a hovel. Some friendship it will lend you against the tempest. Repose you there, while I to this hard house, which even but now demanding after you denied me to come in, return and force their scanted courtesy.
My wits begin to turn. Come on, my boy. How dost, my boy? Art cold? I am cold myself. Where is this straw, my fellow? The art of our necessities is strange that can make vile things precious. Come, your hovel. Poor fool and knave, I have one part in my heart that's yet sorry for thee.
He that has in a little tiny wit, with hay or the wind and the rain, must make content with his fortune, fit for the rain. It raineth every day.
True, my good boy. Come, bring us to this hovel.
This is a brave night to cool a courtesan. I'll speak a prophecy ere I go. When every case in law is right, no squire in debt, no nor poor knight, when slanders do not live in tongues, nor cut purses come not to throngs, when usurers tell their gold in the field, and bawds and whores do churches build, then shall the realm of Albion come to great confusion. This prophecy Merlin shall make, for I live before his time.
Alack, alack, Edmund, I like not this unnatural dealing. When I desired their leave that I might pity him, they took from me the use of mine own house, charged me on pain of their perpetual displeasure neither to speak of him, entreat for him, nor any way sustain him.
Most savage and unnatural.
Go to, say you nothing. There's a division betwixt the dukes, and a worse matter than that. I've received a letter this night. It is dangerous to be spoken. I have locked the letter in my closet. These injuries the king now bears will be revenged home. There is part of a power already footed, and we must incline to the king. I will seek him and privily relieve him. Go you and maintain talk with the duke, that my charity be not of him perceived. If he asks for me, I am ill and gone to bed. Though I die for it, as no less is threatened me, the king, my old master, must be relieved. There is some strange thing toward Edmund. Pray you be careful.
This courtesy, forbid thee, shall the duke instantly know. And of that letter, too, this seems a fair deserving, and must draw me, that when my father loses no less than all, the younger rises when the old doth fall.
Here is the place, my lord. Good my lord, enter. The tyranny of the open night's too rough for nature to endure.
Let me alone.
Good my lord, enter here.
Wilt break my heart.
I'd rather break mine own. Good my lord, enter.
Thou think'st 'tis much that this contentious storm invades us to the skin. So 'tis to thee. But where the greater malady is fixed, the lesser is scarce felt. The tempest in my mind doth from my senses take all feeling else save what beats there. Filial ingratitude, in such a night as this. Oh, Regan, Goneril, your old kind father whose frank heart gave all. Oh, that way madness lies. Let me shun that, no more of that.
Good my lord, enter here.
Prithee, go in thyself. Seek thine own ease. This tempest will not give me leave to ponder on things would hurt me more. But I'll go in. In, boy, go first. You houseless poverty, nay, get thee in. I'll pray, and then I'll sleep. Poor naked wretches, wheresoe'er you are that bide the pelting of this pitiless storm, how shall your houseless heads and unfed sides, your looped and windowed raggedness defend you from seasons such as these? Oh, I have taken too little care of this.
Father and half, poor Tom.
Come here, knuckle-headed spirit, help me!
Give me thy hand. Who's there?
The spirit says his name's poor Tom.
What art thou that dost grumble there in the straw? Come forth.
Away! The fire fiend follows me.
Hast thou given all to thy 2 daughters, and art thou come to this?
Who gives anything to poor Tom? Oh, do poor Tom some charity, whom the fire fiend vexes.
What? Have his daughters brought him to this pass? Couldst thou save nothing? Didst thou give them all?
He hath no daughters, sir.
Cast traitor! Nothing could have subdued nature to such a lowness but his unkind daughters. Is it the fashion that discarded fathers should have this little mercy on their flesh?
Pillicock sat on Pillicock Hill, hallo, lo, 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 lo.
Cold night will turn us all to fools and madmen.
I'll take heed of the fire fiend. Fire fiend. Say, obey thy parents, keep thy word justly, swear not, do not commit, not with man's sworn spouse, sit not thy sweetheart on pride array. Arms are cold.
What hast thou been?
A serving man. Pride in heart and mind. Curled my hair, wore gloves in my cap, and served the lust of my mistress's heart. And did the act of darkness with her. Something contrived of lust and wake to do it. Fault of heart, light of ear, bloody of hand, hog and sloth, fox and stealth, wolf in greediness, dog in madness, lion and prey. Still through the hawthorn blows the cold wind. Say some.
Thou art better in thy grave than to answer with thy uncovered body this extremity of the skies. Is man no more than this? Ha! Your 3 arms are sophisticated. Thou art the thing itself. Unaccommodated man is no more but such a poor bare-forked animal as thou art. Off! Off, you lendings! Come, unbutton here.
Prithee, uncle, be contented. 'Tis a naughty night to swim in. Look, here comes a walking fire.
Oh, this is the fire fiend Flibberty Gibbet. He begins curfew, walks till the first cock. Around they, which around they.
Who's there? What does you seek?
What are you there? Your names?
Poor Tom, that eats the swimming frog, the toad, the tadpole, the walnut, the water, that in the fury of his heart. The foul fiend rages, eats cow dung for salads, swallows the old rat and the ditch dog, drinks the green mantle of the standing pole, who is whipped from tithing to tithing, then stock punished and imprisoned, who hath had 3 suits to his back, 6 shirts to his body, horse to ride and weapon to wear, but mice and rats and such small deer have been Tom's food for 7 long years. Beware, my follower. Peace, spoken, peace, fiend.
What hath their grace no better company?
The Prince of Darkness is a gentleman.
Our flesh and blood is grown so vile, my lord, that it doth hate what gets it.
Poor Tom's a cold.
Go in with me. My duty cannot suffer to obey in all your daughters' hard commands. Though their injunction be to bar my doors, yet have I ventured to come seek you out and bring you where both food and fire are ready.
First, let me talk with this learned philosopher. What is the cause of thunder?
Good my lord, take his offer. Go into the house.
I'll talk a word with the same learned Theban. What is your study?
How to prevent the fiend and kill vermin.
Let me ask you one word in private.
Importune him once more to go, my lord. His wits begin to unsettle.
Canst thou blame him? His daughters seek his death. I'll tell you, friend, I am almost mad myself. I had a son, now outlawed from my blood. He sought my life, but lately, very late. I loved him, friend. No father his son dearer. Truth to tell thee, the grief hath crazed my wits. What a night's this! I do beseech your grace.
Oh, cry your mercy, sir. Noble philosopher, your company.
Tom's a cold.
In, fellow, there, into the hovel. Keep thee warm.
Come, let's in all.
This way, my lord.
With him. I will keep still with my philosopher.
Good my lord. Soothe him, let him take the fellow.
Take him you on.
Child Roland to the dark tower came. His word was still. Fie, foe, and fum. I smell the blood of a British man.
I will have my revenge ere I depart his house.
How, my lord, I may be censured, that nature thus gives way to loyalty. Something fears me to think of.
I perceive it was not altogether your brother's evil disposition made him seek his death, but a provoking merit set a work by a reprovable badness in himself.
How malicious is my fortune that I must repent to be just. This is the letter he spoke of, which approves him by an intelligent party to the advantages of France. Oh, heavens, if this treason were not, nor I the detector, if the matter of this paper be certain, you have mighty business in hand.
True or false, it hath made thee Earl of Gloucester. Seek out where thy father is, that he may be ready for our apprehension.
If I find him comforting the king, it will stuff his suspicions more fully. I will preserve in my course of loyalty, though the conflict be sore between that and my blood.
I will lay my trust upon thee, and thou shalt find a dearer father in my love.
Here is better than the open air. Take it thankfully. I will piece out the comfort with what addition I can. I will not be long from you.
All the powers of his wits have given way to his impatience. Gods reward your kindness.
Here is an inkling like of darkness. Pray, Saint beware the foul fiend.
Prithee, uncle, tell me whether a madman be a gentleman or a yeoman.
A king! A king!
No, he's a yeoman that has a gentleman to his son, for he's a bad yeoman that sees his son a gentleman before him.
Yeah, 1,000 with red burning spits come hissing it upon him.
Hey, the foul fiend bites my back.
He's mad that trusts in the tameness of a wolf, a horse's health, a boy's love, or a whore's oath.
It shall be done. I will arraign them straight. Come, sit thou here, most learned justicer. Thou sapient sir, sit here. Now use your foxes.
Looked where he stands and glares. What does thou eyes at try, madam? The foul fiend. Holds poor Tom in the voice of a nightingale.
How do you, sir? Stand you not so amazed? Will you lie down and rest upon the cushions?
I'll see their trial first. Bring in the evidence. Thou robed man of justice, take thy place. And thou, his yoke fellow of equity, bench by his side. You are of the commission. Sit you too.
Let us deal justly. Her cat's grey.
Arraign her first. 'Tis goneril. Here I take my oath before this honorable assembly. She kicked the poor king her father.
Come hither, mistress. Is your name Goneril?
She cannot deny it.
By your mercy, I took you for a joint stool.
And here's another, whose warped looks proclaim what sure her heart is made on. Arms! Arms! Sword! Fire! Cross in place! False justice! Why hast thou let her escape?
That's thy five wits.
Oh, pity, sir. Where is the patience now that thou so oft have boasted to retain?
My tears begin to take his part so much. The more my counterfeiting.
Little dogs and all. Trade blanch and sweetheart, see they bark at me.
Tom will throw his head at him. Avant, ye curs.
Then let them anatomize Regan. See what breeds about her heart. Is there any cause in nature that makes these hard hearts? You, sir, I entertain for one of my 100, only I do not like the fashion of your garments.
Now, good my lord, lie here and rest a while.
Make no noise. Make no noise. Draw the curtains. So. I will go to supper in the morning. So.
Come hither, friend. Where is the king, my master?
Here, sir, but trouble him not. His wits are gone.
Good friend, I prithee, take him in thy arms. I have overheard a plot of death upon him. Drive towards Dover, friend, where thou shalt meet both welcome and protection.
This rest might yet have balmed thy broken senses, which if convenience will not allow, stand in hard cure.
Come, come away.
We are better sea-bearing our woes. Scarcely think our miseries are foes. What will happen more tonight? Save, escape the king. Work.
Post speedily to your lord, my lord, your husband. Show him this letter. The army of France has landed. Seek out the villain Gloucester.
Hang him instantly.
Pluck out his eyes.
Leave him to my displeasure. Edmund, you know our sister. The revenges we are bound to take upon the traitorous father. How now? Where's the king?
My lord of Gloucester hath conveyed him hence towards Dover, where they boast of well-armed friends.
Go seek the traitor Gloucester. Pinion him like a thief. Bring him before us. Oh, well, we may not pass upon his life without the form of justice, yet our power shall do a courtesy to our wrath.
Ingrateful fox!
Wind fast his corky arms!
What means your graces? Good my friends, consider you are my guests. Do me no foul play, friends.
Then I say.
Hard, hard! Oh, filthy traitor! Unmerciful lady as you are, I'm none.
This chair bind him. Villain, thou shalt find with robber's hands my hospitable favors you should not ruffle thus. What will you do? Come, sir! What letters had you late from France?
Be simple answerer, for we know the truth.
And what confederacy have you with the traitors late footed in the kingdom?
To whose hands have you sent the lunatic king? Speak. I have a letter guessingly set down, which came from one that's of a neutral heart, and not from one opposed.
Cunning.
And false.
Where hast thou sent the king?
To Dover. Wherefore to Dover? Wast thou not charged that peril to try and...
Let him first answer that.
I'm tied to the stake and I must stand the course. Wherefore to Dover, sir? Because I would not see thy cruel nails pluck out his poor old eyes, nor thy fierce sister in his anointed flesh stick boorish fangs. If wolves had at that time howled at thy stern gate, thou shouldst have said, Good porter, turn the key, all cruels else subscribed. But I shall see the winged vengeance overtake such children.
Yet shalt thou never, Regan. Go you now, upon these eyes of thine, I'll set my foot.
He that will think to live till he be old, give me some help. No, no, oh, cruel. Oh, God. One side shall mock the other two.
If you seek vengeance.
Hold your hand, my lord! I have served you ever since I was a child, but better service have I never done you than now to bid you hold.
My word!
Nay then, come on, and take the chance of anger.
Isn't stand up thus. Ah!
Oh, I am slain. My lord, you have one eye left to see some mischief on him. Oh.
More, prevent it! Out, vile jelly! I must now!
Dark. Where is my son Edmund? Edmund! And kindle all the sparks of mischief with the sword.
Oh, treacherous villain! Thou callest on he that hates thee. 'Twas he that made the overture of thy treasons to us, who is too good to pity thee. Oh, my follies. Then Edgar was abused. Kind gods, forgive me that, and bless him. Go, set him out at gates, and let him smell his way to Dover. How is my lord? How look you?
I have received a hurt. Follow me, lady. Turn out the eyeless villain. Throw the slave upon the dunghill. Regan, I bleed apace. Untimely comes this hurt. Give me your arm.
Better thus, known to be contemned than still contemned and flattered. Welcome then, thou unsubstantial air that I embrace. Who comes here? Father? Poorly led?
Away, get thee away, good friend, be gone. Thy comforts can do me no good at all. Thee they may hurt.
Alack, sir, you cannot see your way.
I have no way, and therefore want no eyes. I stumbled when I saw. Full oft 'tis seen our means secure us, and our mere defects prove our commodities. Oh, dear son Edgar, the food of thy abused father's wrath. Might I but live to see thee in my touch, I'd say I had eyes again.
Oh no! Who's there?
Oh gods, who can say I am at the worst? I am worse than ever I was.
This more poor Mad Tom.
And worse I may be yet. The worst is not so long as we can say this is the worst.
Fellow, where goest?
Is it a beggar man?
Madman and beggar too.
He has some reason, else he could not beg. In the last night's storm, I such a fellow saw, which made me think a man a worm. My son then came into my mind, and yet my mind was then scarce friends with him. I have heard more since. As flies to wanton boys are we to the gods. They kill us for their sport.
How should this be? That is the trade that must play full to sorrow, angering itself in others. Bless thee, master.
Is that the naked fellow?
Aye, my lord.
Then prithee, get thee gone.
Alack, sir, he is mad.
'Tis the time's plague when madmen lead the blind. Do as I bid thee, or rather do thy pleasure. Above all else, be gone.
I'll bring him the best for all I have. Come on to it will.
Sirrah, naked fellow!
Horrid home's a cold. I cannot stop it further.
Come hither, fellow.
And yet I must. Bless thy sweet eyes, they bleed.
Know'st thou the way to Dover?
Both stile and gate, horse, way, and footpath. Poor Tom hath been scared at his good wits. Bless thee, good man's son, from the final fiend.
Here, take this purse, thou whom the heaven's plagues have humbled to all strokes. That I am wretched makes thee the happier. Heavens deal so still. So distribution should undo excess, and each man have enough. Dost thou know Dover?
Aye, master.
There is a cliff whose high and bending head looks fearfully into the confined deep. Bring me but to the very brim of it, and I'll repair the misery thou dost bear with something rich about me. From that place I shall know leading need.
Give me thy arm. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
Welcome, my lord. I marvel our mild husband not met us on the way. Now, where's your master?
Madam, within, but never man so changed. I told him of the army that was landed. He smiled at it. I told him you were coming. His answer was the worse. Of Gloucester's treachery and of the loyal service of his son, when I informed him, then he called me sot and told me I had turned the wrong side out. What most he should dislike seems pleasant to him. What like, offensive.
Then shall you go no further. It is the cowish terror of his spirits that does not undertake. He'll not find wrongs which tie him to an answer. Our wishes on the way may prove effects. Back, Edmund, to my brother. Hasten his musters and conduct his powers. I must change arms at home and give distaff into my husband's hands. This trusty servant shall pass between us. Ere long you are like to hear, if you dare venture on your home matters, a matress's command. Wear this. Spare speech. Decline your head. This kiss, if it durst speak, which stretch thy spirits up into the air. Conceive, and fare thee well.
Yours in the ranks of death.
My most dear Gloucester. Oh, the difference of man and man. To thee, a woman's services are due. A fool usurps my body.
Madam, here comes my lord.
I've been worth the whistle.
Oh, Goneril, you are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face. I fear your disposition. That nature, which condemns its origin, cannot be bordered certain in itself.
No more. The text is foolish.
Wisdom and goodness to the vile seem vile. Filth savors but themselves. What have you done? Tigers, not daughters. What have you performed? A father, a gracious aged man whose reverence even the head-lugged bear would lick. Most barbarous, most degenerate. Have you madded? If that the heavens do not their visible spirits send quickly down to tame these vile offenses, it will come. Humanity must perforce prey on itself, like monsters of the deep.
Milk-livered man, that bearest a cheek for blows, a head for wrongs, who hast not in thy brows an eye discerning thine honor from thy suffering? Where's thy drum? France spreads his banners in our noiseless land, whilst thou, a moral fool, sit still and criest, alack, why does he so?
Thou changed and self-covered thing, for shame! Be monster not thy feature. Word my fitness to let these hands obey my blood, they are apt enough to dislocate and tear thy flesh and bones. However, thou art a fiend, a woman's shape doth shield thee.
Marry your manhood now.
What news?
Oh, my good lord, the Duke of Cornwall's dead, slain by his servant going to put out the other eye of Gloucester.
Gloucester's eye?
A servant that he bred, thrilled with remorse, opposed against the act, bending his sword to his great master, who, thereat enraged, flew on him, and amongst them felled him dead, but not without that harmful stroke which sense hath plucked him after.
This shows you are above, you justicers. But oh, poor Gloucester. Lost he his other eye?
Both, my lord. This letter, madam, craves a speedy answer. 'Tis from your sister.
One way, I like this well, but being widow and my Gloucester with her, may all the building in my fancy pluck upon my hateful life. Another way, the news is not so tart. I'll read an answer.
Where was his son when they did take his eyes?
Come with my lady hither.
He is not here?
No, my good lord, I met him back again.
Knows he the wickedness?
I, my good lord, 'twas he informed against him, and quit the house on purpose that their punishment might have the freer course.
Gloucester, I live to thank thee for the love thou showest the king. Revenge thine eyes.
Alack, 'tis he. Why, he was met even now as mad as the vexed sea, singing aloud, crowned with rank fumeter and furrow weeds, with burdocks, hemlock, nettles, cuckoo flowers, darnel, and all the idle weeds that grow in our sustaining corn. A century send forth. Search every acre in the high-grown field and bring him to our eye. All blessed secrets, all you unpublished virtues of the earth, spring with my tears. Be aidant and remediate in the good man's distress. Seek for him, lest his ungoverned rage dissolve the life that wants the means to lead it.
News, madam. The British powers are marching hitherward.
'Tis known before. Our preparation stands in expectation of them. Oh, dear father, it is thy business that I go about. No blown ambition doth our arms incite, but love, dear love, and our aged father's right. Soon may I hear and see him.
But are my brother's powers set forth?
Aye, madam.
Himself in person there?
Madam, with much ado, your sister is the better soldier.
Lord Edmund spake not with your lord at home.
No, madam.
What might import my sister's letter to him?
I know not, lady.
Faith, he is posted hence on serious matter. It was great ignorance Gloucester's eyes being out to let him live. Where he arrives, he moves all hearts against us. Edmund, I think, is gone in pity of his misery to dispatch his nighted life. Moreover, to descry the strength of the enemy.
I must needs after him, madam, with my letter.
Our troops set forth tomorrow. Stay with us. The ways are dangerous.
I may not, madam. My lady charged my duty in this business.
Why should she write to Edmund? Might not you transport her purposes by word? Belike something. I know not what. I'll love thee much. Let me unseal the letter.
Madam, I had rather let you unseal
I know your lady does not love her husband. I am sure of that. And at her late being here, she gave strange Iliad and most speaking looks to noble Edmund. I know you are of her bosom.
I, madam?
I speak in understanding. You are, I know it. Therefore, I do advise you, take this note. My lord is dead. Edmund and I have talked, and more convenient is he for my hand than for your lady's. You may gather more. If you do find him, pray you, give him this. And when your mistress hears thus much from you, I pray, desire her, call her wisdom to her. So fare you well. If you do chance to hear of that blind traitor, preferment falls on him that cuts him off.
Would I could meet him, madam. I should show what party I do follow.
Fare thee well.
When shall we come to the top of that same hill?
Do you climb up it now? Look, how we labour.
Methinks the ground is even.
Oh, horrible steep. Hark, do you hear the sea?
No, truly.
Oh, why then your other senses growing perfect? Why your eyes is anguish?
So may it be indeed.
Come on, sir, here's the place. Stand still. How fearful and dizzy 'tis to cast one's eyes so low. Fishermen that walk upon the beach appear like mice, murmuring surge that on the unnumbered idle pebble chase cannot be heard so high. I'll look no more, lest my brain turn and the deficient sight topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
Give me your hand. You're now within a foot of the extreme verge. For all beneath the moon would I not leap upright?
Let go my hand. Here, friend, another purse. Berries and gods prosper it with thee. Go thou farther off, bid me farewell, and let me hear thee going.
I fare you well, good sir.
With all my heart.
Why had you trifled thus with this despair? It's done to cure it.
Oh, you mighty gods! This world I do renounce, and in your sights shake patiently my great affliction off. If I could bear it longer and not fall to quarrel with your great opposeless wills, my snuff and loathed the part of nature should burn itself out. If Edgar live, oh, bless him! Now, fellow, fare thee well.
Go on, sir, farewell. You do not know how conceit may rob the treasure of life when life itself yields to theft. Had I been where he thought, by this, if I been past, alive or dead, oh, you, sir, friend, hear you, sir, speak. Oh, that's mighty past indeed, yet he revives. What are you, sir?
Away and let me die.
Hast thou been aught but gossamer, feathers, air? So many fathom down precipitating. I'll shiver like an egg, but thou dost breathe. Thy life's a miracle. Speak yet again.
But have I fallen or no?
The dread summons of the chalky born. Look up heights of shield, where locks of fucking I'll be seen a hood dupe to the cup.
Alack, I have no eyes. Is wretchedness deprived that benefit to end itself by death?
Give me thy arm. Up so, how is it? Feel your legs, you stand too well.
Too well, too well.
This is above all strangeness. Think that the clearest gods who make them honours of men's impossibilities have preserved thee.
I do remember now. Henceforth I'll bear affliction till it do cry out itself, enough, enough, and die.
They are free and patient thoughts. Well, who comes here?
No, they cannot touch me for coining. I am the king himself.
Oh, thou side-piercing sight.
Oh, nature's above art in that respect. There's your press money. Look, a mouse. Peace. This piece of toasted cheese will do it. There's my gauntlet. I'll prove it on a giant.
Sweet marjoram.
Pass.
I know that voice.
Ha! Doro with a white beard. They flattered me like a dog. To say I and no to everything that I said. I and no, too, was no good divinity. When the rain came to wet me once and the wind to make me chatter, when the thunder would not peace at my bidding, there I found him. There I smelt him out. Go to. They are not men of their words. They told me I was everything. 'Tis a lie, I am not ague-proof.
The trick of that voice I do well remember. Is not the king?
Aye, every inch a king. When I do stare, see how the subject quakes. I pardon that man's life. What was thy cause? Adultery? Thou shalt not die. Die for adultery, no. The wren goes to it, and the small gilded fly does lecher in my sight. Let copulation thrive, for Gloucester's bastard son was kinder to his father than my daughters got between the lawful sheets.
Oh, let me kiss that hand.
Let me wipe it first. It smells of mortality.
Oh, you ruined piece of nature. This great world shall so wear out to naught. Dost thou know me?
I remember thine eyes well enough. Dost thou squinty at me? No, do thy worst, blind Cupid, I'll not love.
I'll take this from report. It is. And my heart breaks at it.
Thou hast seen a farmer's dog bark at a beggar?
Aye, sir.
And the creature run from the cur. There thou mightst behold the great image of authority. A dog's obeyed in office. Get thee glass eyes, and like a scurvy politician, seem to see things thou dost not.
See next. Reason and madness.
If thou wilt weep my fortunes, take my eyes. I know thee well enough. Thy name is Gloucester. Thou must be patient. We came crying hither, thou knowest, the first time that we smell the air, we wail and cry. I will preach to thee, mark.
Alack the day.
When we are born, we cry that we are come to this great stage of fools. This is a good block, it were a delicate stratagem, to shoe a troop of horse with felt. I'll put it in proof. And when I have stolen upon these sons-in-laws that kill.
Oh, here he is, lay hand upon him. Sir, your most dear daughter.
No rescue? What, a prisoner? I am even the natural fool of fortune. Use me well, you shall have ransom. Let me have surgeons, I am cut to the brains.
You are a royal one. We obey you.
Then there's life in it. Nay, if you get it, you shall get it with running.
A sight most pitiful in the meanest wretch. Past seeking of a king. Thou hast one daughter, who redeems nature from the general curse which twain have brought her to.
The herald, sir, of the battle toward.
Most sure and vulgar. Everyone hears that who can distinguish sound.
By your favour, how near's the other army?
Near and on speedy foot, the mainest cry stands on the hourly thought. Though the queen, on special causes here, her army has moved on.
Thank you, sir.
You ever gentle gods, take my breath from me. Let not my worst spirit tempt me again to die before you please.
I pray you, Father.
Hearty thanks. The bounty and the benison of heaven to boot and boot.
Proclaimed prize! Most happy. That eyeless head of thine was first framed flesh to raise my fortunes. Thou old unhappy traitor, briefly thyself remember. The sword is out that must destroy thee.
Now let thy friendly hand put strength enough to it.
Old sir.
Wherefore, bold peasant, darest thou support a published traitor? Hence, lest that the infection of his fortune take like hold on thee, let go his arm. Let go, slave, or thou diest.
Go, gentlemen, go your gate, or let poor folk pass. Nay, come not near the old man. Keep out, before ye, or I swear you costard, and my ball will be the harder. Shall be playing with you.
Out, dunghill.
She'll pick your teeth. Sir, come no matter for your fines.
Ah! Slave! Thou hast slain me! Villain, take my purse. If ever thou wilt thrive, bury my body, and give the letters which thou findest about me to Edmund, Earl of Gloucester. Seek him out upon the British party. Oh, untimely death!
I know thee well. A serviceable villain, as duties to the vices of thy mistress as badness would desire.
What, is he dead?
Sit you down, father. Rest you. He's dead. I'm only sorry he had no other despot. Just be. Leave gentle wax. Manners blame us not. To know our enemies' minds, we rip their hearts, their papers. It's more lawful. Let our reciprocal vows be remembered. We have many opportunities to cut them off. Yet our wail was not. Time and place will be fruitfully offered. There's nothing done. He returned the conqueror, then I am the prisoner. And he's bade my goal. From the loaded warmth whereof he lived me, and supply the place for your labour. Your wife, so I would say, affectionate servant, Goneril. Oh, undistinguished space of woman's will, a plot upon her virtuous husband's life, and the risk my brother. Burn the sands that I rake up, the post unsanctified and murderous lectures, and in the mature time with his egregious paper, strike the sight of the death practice Duke. For him 'tis way that of thy death and business I can tell. Give me your hand. Far off, methinks. I hear the beaten drum. Come, father, I'll bestow you with a friend.
O thou good Kent, how shall I live and work to match thy goodness?
To be acknowledged, madam, is o'erpaid. Yet to be known shortens my made intent. My boon I make it that you know me not till time and I think meet.
Then be it so, my good lord. How does the king?
Madam, sleeps still.
Oh, you kind gods, cure this great breach in his abused nature. The untuned and jarring senses, oh, wind up of this child-changed father.
Be by, good madam, when we do awake him. I doubt not of his temperance.
Very well.
Please you, draw near.
Oh, my dear father, restoration, hang thy medicine on my lips, and let this kiss repair those violent harms that my two sisters have in thy reverence made.
Kind and dear princess.
Was this a face to be opposed against the warring winds? To stand against the deep dread-bolted thunder in the most terrible and nimble stroke of quick cross lightning? To watch poor Perdue with this thin helm. Mine enemy's dog, though he had bit me, should have stood that night against my fire. And wast thou fain, poor father, to hovel thee with swine and rogues forlorn in short and musty straw? Black, black. 'Tis wonder that thy life and wits at once had not concluded all. He wakes. Speak to him.
Madam, do you, 'tis fittest.
How does my royal lord? How fares your majesty?
You do me wrong to take me out of the grave. Thou art a soul in bliss, but I am bound upon a wheel of fire that mine own tears do scald like molten lead.
So do you know me?
You are a spirit, I know. When did you die?
Far wide.
He's scarce awake. Let him alone a while.
Where have I been? Where am I? Fair daylight? I am mightily abused. I should e'en die with pity to see another thus. I know not what to say. I will not swear these are my hands.
Oh, look upon me, sir, and hold your hands in benediction o'er me.
Pray, do not mock me. I am a very foolish, fond old man, 80 and upward, not an hour more nor less. And to deal plainly, I fear I am not in my perfect mind. Methinks I should know you, and know this man. Yet I am doubtful, for I am mainly ignorant what place this is. Do not laugh at me, for as I am a man, I think this lady to be my child, Cordelia.
And so I am. I am.
Be your tears wet? Yes, faith. I pray, weep not. If you have poison for me, I will drink it. I know you do not love me, for your sisters have, as I do remember, done me wrong. You have some cause, they have not.
No cause. No cause.
Am I in France?
In your own kingdom, sir.
Do not abuse me.
Please, your highness, walk.
You must bear with me. Pray you now, forget and forgive. I am old and foolish.
Know of the Duke of his last purpose hold, or whether since he is advised by aught to change course, he's full of alteration and self-reproving. Bring his constant pleasure.
Our sister's man is certainly miscarried.
Is to be doubted, madam.
Now, sweet lord, you know the goodness I intend upon you. Tell me but truly, but then speak the truth. Dost thou not love my sister?
An honored love.
But have you never found my brother's way to the forfended place?
The thought abuses you.
I am doubtful that you have been conjunct and bosomed with her as far as we call hers.
No, by mine honor, madam.
I never shall endure her. Dear my lord, be not familiar with her.
Fear me not. She and the Duke her husband.
I had rather lose the battle than that sister should loosen him and me.
Our very loving sister will be met. Sir, this I hear, the king is come to his daughter, with others whom the rigor of our state forced to cry out. Where I could not be honest, I never yet was valiant. For this business, it touches us. As France invades our land, not bolds the king with others who I fear most just and heavy causes make oppose.
Sir, you speak nobly.
Why is this reasoned?
Combine together against the enemy, for these domestic and particular broils are not the question here.
Then let's determine with the ancient of war on our proceedings.
I shall attend you presently at your tent.
Sister, you'll go with us?
No.
'Tis most convenient. Pray you go with us.
Oh, I know the riddle. I'll go.
Ever your grace had speech with men so poor. Give me one word.
I'll overtake you. Speak.
Before you fight the battle. This letter. The victory, let the trump sound. Him that brought it. Wretched though I seem, I can produce a champion that will prove what is vouched there. If you miscarry, your business to the world hath so end. Machination ceases. Fortune love you. When time shall serve, let but the herald cry, and I will appear again.
Why, fare thee well. I will overlook the paper.
The enemy's in view. Drop your powers.
We will greet the time.
To both these sisters I have sworn my love, each jealous of the other, as the stung are of the adder. What shall I take? Both, one, or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates, makes her sister goneril. Makes mad her sister Goneril, and hardly shall I carry out my side, her husband being alive. Now then we'll use his countenance for the battle, which being done, let her who would be rid of him devise his speedy taking off. As for the mercy, which he intends to Lear and Cordelia, the battle done, and they within our powers shall never see his pardon. For my state stands on me to defend, not to debate.
Your father, take the shadow of the tree. Your good host, pray that the right may thrive. If I ever return to you again, I'll bring you comfort.
Grace go with you, sir.
Oh, the old man, give me thy hand away. King Lear hath lost, and his daughter ta'en. Give me thy hand, come on.
No farther, sir. A man may rot even here.
What? Any ill thoughts again? They must endure their going hence even as they're coming hither. Ripeness is all, come on.
And that's true, too.
Some officers, take them away. Good guard until their greater pleasures first be known that are to censure them.
Thee, oppressed king, am I cast down. Myself could else outfrown false fortune's frown. Shall we not see these daughters and these sisters?
No. Come. Let's away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds in the cage. When thou dost ask me blessing, I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies and hear poor rogues talk of court news. And we'll talk with them too. Who loses and who wins, who's in, who's out, and take upon the mystery of things as if we were God's spies. And we'll wear out in a walled prison pacts and sects of great ones that ebb and flow by the moon.
Take them away.
Wipe thine eyes. The good years shall devour them flesh and fell ere they shall make us weep. We'll see him starve first. Come.
Come hither, Captain. Hark, take thou this note. Go follow them to prison. One step I have advanced thee. If thou dost as this instructs thee, thou dost make thy way to noble fortunes. Know thou this, that men are as the time is. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Either say thou do it or thrive by other means.
I'll do it, my lord.
About it, and right happy when thou hast done it. Mark, I say, instantly, and carry it too as I have set down.
Do not draw cart, nor eat dried oats. If it be man's work, I'll do it.
Sir, you have shown today your valiant strain, and fortune led you well. You have the captives that were the opposites of this day's strife. We do require them of you, so to use them as we shall find their merits and our safety may equally determine.
Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention and appointed guard, whose age hath charms in it, whose title more, to pluck the common bosom on his side, and turn our lances in our eyes, which do command them. With him I sent to the queen, my reason the same, that they are ready tomorrow, or at further space to appear, where you shall hold your session. At this time we sweat and bleed. The friend hath lost his friend, and the best quarrels are in the heat, are cursed by those that feel their sharpness. The question of Cordelia and her father requires a fitter place.
Sir, by your patience, I hold you but a subject of this war, not as a brother.
That's as we list to grace him. Methinks our pleasure might have been demanded ere you had spoke so far. He led our powers, bore the commission of my place and person, the which immediacy may well stand up and call itself your brother.
God, in his own grace he doth exalt himself more than in your addition.
In my rights by me invested, he compeers the best.
That were the most if he should husband you.
Huh? Jesters do oft prove prophets.
Holla, holla, that eye that told you so looked but a squint.
Lady, I am not well, else I should answer from a full-flowing stomach. General, take thou my soldiers, prisoners, patrimony. Dispose of them, of me. The walls are thine. Witness the world that I create thee here, my lord and master.
Mean you to enjoy him?
The let alone lies not in your goodwill.
Nor in thine, lord.
Half-blooded fellow, yes!
Let the drums strike and prove my title thine.
Stay yet. Hear reason, Edmund. I arrest thee on capital treason, and in thine attaint this gilded serpent. For your claim, fair sister, I bear it in the interest of my wife, 'tis she is subcontracted to this lord, and I, her husband, contradict your bands. If you will marry, make your loves to me. My lady is bespoke.
An interlude.
Thou art armed, Gloucester, let the trumpet sound. If none appear to prove upon thy head thy heinous, manifest, and many treasons, there is my pledge. I'll prove it on thy heart.
Sick? Oh, sick?
If not, I'll never trust medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me traitor? Villain-like he lies. Call by thy trumpet, he that dares approach. On him, on you, who not. I will maintain my truth and honor firmly.
Trust to thy single virtue, for thy soldiers, all levied in my name, have in my name took their discharge.
My sickness grows upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Let the trumpet sound. If any man of quality or degree within the list of the army will maintain upon Edmund, supposed Earl of Gloucester, that he is a manifold traitor, let him appear by the third sound of the trumpet. He is bold in his defense.
Sound.
Again.
Again!
No, my name is lost. My treason's tooth, bear on, canker bit. I am noble. As the adversary, I come to cope.
Which is that adversary?
What's he that speaks for Edmund Earl of Gloucester?
Himself. What sayest thou to him?
Draw thy sword, that if my speech offend a noble heart, thy arm may do thee justice. Here is mine. Behold, it is the privilege of mine honors, my oath, and my profession. I protest, despite thy victor sword and fire new fortune, thy valor and thy heart, thou art a traitor. Also thy gods, thy brother, and thy father conspire against this high illustrious prince, from the extremest upward of thy head to the descent and dust below thy foot. Most toad-spotted traitor, say thou no. This sword, this arm, and my best spirits are bent to prove upon thy heart whereto I speak thou liest.
In wisdom I should ask thy name, but since thy outside looks so fair and warlike, and that thy tongue say of some breeding breath, which safe and nicely I might well delay, by rule of knighthood I disdain and spurn. Back do I toss these treasons to thy head, with the hell-hated lie o'erwhelm thy heart, which for they yet glance by and scarcely bruise. This sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak!
Ha!
Ah!
Save him, save him.
This is practice, Gloucester. By the laws of ours, thou wast not bound to answer an unknown opposite. Thou art not vanquished, but cozened and beguiled.
Shut your mouth, dame, or with this paper shall I stop it. Hold, sir, thou worse than any name, read thine own evil. No, tearing lady, I perceive you know it.
Say, if I do, the laws are mine, not thine. Who can arraign me for it?
Most monstrous. Knowest thou this paper?
Ask me not what I know.
Go after her. She's desperate. Governor.
What you have charged me with, that I have done, and more, much more. The time will bring out, 'tis past, and so am I. But what art thou that hast thy fortune on me? Thou art noble. I do forgive thee.
Let's exchange charity. I am no less in blood than thou art, Edmund, if more the more thou hast wronged me. My name is Edgar, and thy father's son.
The wheel has come full circle. I am here.
Methought thy very gait did prophesy a royal nobleness. Embrace thee. Sorrow split my heart if ever I did hate thee or thy father.
Worthy prince, I know it.
Where have you hid yourself? Have you known the miseries of your father?
Nursing them, my lord. What's a brief tale? Told all of my heart would burst. Bloody proclamation to escape that followed me so near. Taught me to shift into a madman's rags, to assume a semblance that very dogs disdained. This habit I and my father with his bleeding rings. The precious stones new lost became his guide, led him, begged for him, saved him from despair, and at all fault, revealed myself unto him. Some half hour passed. When I was armed, not sure, though hoping of this good success, I asked his blessing. From first to last told of my pilgrimage. But his flawed heart, alas, too weak the conflict to support. Just two extremes of passion, joy and grief. Or smilingly.
The speech of yours hath moved me, and shall perchance do good. But speak you on. You look as though you had something more to say.
As I was being clamor, came there in a man who, having seen me in my worst estate, shunned my poor society, but then, finding who 'twas that so adored, his strong arms around my neck, and bellowed out as he burst heaven, threw him on my father. Told the most piteous tale of Lear, and him that ever ear received, which, in recounting his grief, grew poison. The strings of life began to crack. Twice then the trumpet sounded, and there I left him tranced.
Who is this?
Kent, sir. Banished Kent, who in disguise followed his enemy king, did him service improper for a slave.
Help, oh help! This hot smoke that came upon the heart of... Oh, she's dead.
Who dead? Speak, man.
Your lady, sir, your lady. And her sister, by hers poisoned. She hath confessed.
I was contracted to them both. Now all three marry in an instant.
Here comes Kent.
Produce their bodies. Be they alive or dead. This judgment of the heavens that makes us tremble touches us not with pity.
I am come to bid my king and master I good night. Is he not here?
Great thing of us forgot! Speak, Edmund, where is the king? And where Cordelia? Do you see us this object, Kent?
Alack, why thus?
Loved. The other poisoned for my sake. Oh, and after slew herself.
Even so, cover their faces.
I banned for life. Some good I mean to do, despite of mine own nature. Quickly, send, be brief in it to the castle. For my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia. Nay, send in time.
Run! Run! Oh, run!
But to you, my lord, who at the office, send a token of reprieve.
Well thought on. Take my sword. Give it to the captain.
Haste thee, for thy life!
He hath commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her for her own despair, that she fordid herself.
The gods defend her. Bear him hence a while.
Ow! 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 Oh, you are men of stone! Had I your tongues and eyes, I'd use them so that heaven's vault should crack. She's gone forever. I know when one is dead, and when one lives, she's dead as earth. Lend me a looking glass. If that her breath will mist or stain the stone, why then she lives.
Is this the promised end?
Image of that horror.
Fall and cease.
This feather stirs. She lives. If it be so, it is a chance which does redeem all sorrows that I have ever felt.
Oh, my good master.
Pity away.
This noble Kent, your friend.
Think upon you, murderers, traitors all! I might have saved her. Now she's gone forever. Cordelia! Cordelia! What is thou sayest? Her voice was ever soft, gentle and low, an excellent thing in woman. I killed the slave that was a-hanging me. Did I not, fellow? Who are you? Mine eyes are not of the best, I'll tell you straight.
Fortune brag of two she loved and hated, one of them we behold.
This is a dull sight, are you not Kent?
The same, your servant Kent.
He's a good fellow, I can tell you that. He'll strike, and quickly too. He's dead and rotten.
No, my good lord, I am the very man.
I'll see that straight.
He knows not what he says, and vain it is that we present us to him.
Edmund is dead, my lord.
That's but a trifle here. You lords and noble friends know our intent. Comfort to this great decay may come shall be applied. Thus we will resign, during the life of this old majesty, to him absolute power. To you, to your rights, with boot and such addition as your honors have more than merited. All friends shall taste the wages of their virtue, and all foes the cup of their deservings. Oh, see, see.
And my poor fool is hanged! Oh, why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life and now no breath at all? They'll come no more. Never. Pray you, undo this button. Thank you, sir. Do you see this? Look on her. Look, her lips. Look there. Look there.
Veins, my lord, my lord.
Vex not his ghost. Oh, let him pass. He hates him much that would upon the rack of this tough world stretch him out longer.
He's gone indeed.
The wonder is he hath endured so long. He but usurped his life.
Bear them from hence. Our present business is general woe. Friends of my soul, you twain, rule in this realm. Sustain.
I have a journey, sir, shortly to go. My master calls me. I must not say no.
The way of this sad time we must obey. Speak what we will, not what we ought to say. Oldest hath borne most, we that are young shall never see so much, nor live so long.
Emma, you're on mute.
Gotten to the awkward part now.
Yeah. Don't know what to say, guys.
Emma, you're on mute.
Okay, I figured it out. My screen was being weird. It wasn't letting me unmute. Thank you all so much for coming. This was our show. I hope you all had a wonderful time. Apologies when I put in the Zoom, the Venmo for Sodal. It is Sodal at UVA, SOTLATUVA. Thank you so much for coming. Yes. And so you can all leave if you so wish. All right. Thank you.